Hi, I'm DJ Flash. I'm here with Kira Scheid. I'm going to ask her some questions today. But before that, Kira, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Kira. I graduated from Stevenson in 2017, and now I live in Nashville, Tennessee, working in the music industry.
Awesome. Okay. First question. Um, why did you want to get into music production and stage crew?
Yeah, so I just kind of always loved music and loved going to concerts and stuff. And when I was at Stevenson doing radio and stuff, it really helped to like show me that this was maybe a viable career to go into music, not performing and stuff. And so I used to like throw shows at Stevenson, and I wanted to learn how to do that and continue to get to have experience doing that. And now I get to do it for money, which is awesome.
Which is always awesome.
That's the best.
um, what is an average day in your life like, pre-COVID and post?
Yeah. So pre-COVID, I'm still in school, finishing up my degree at Belmont University in music business. So like pre-COVID, my days have kind of looked like going to class and then trying to go freelance at shows at nighttime, whether it's like working a VIP gig and like helping people get to their VIP section or like their meet and greet stuff. Um, or just like doing an internship and working with different labels and artists and stuff. After COVID, not so much of that.
What is something that someone may not know about your career?
About my career. I mean, so much. There's so much.
All of it. Just say all.
All of it. Yeah, a lot of people think it's like super like glamorous on tour and like super fun. It's a lot of fun, but it's not as glamorous as people think. Like I lived in a bus with 16 people before, which is like crazy. You're all super close space, so you get really close really fast. You don't always have a shower, which is fun. Lots of tour showers and stuff. But yeah, I think a lot of people think it's like a crazy like big industry, but it's so small. Like everybody knows each other. So yeah, I feel like there's a lot of misconceptions about the music industry and like doing stuff there.
I also feel that like from like a person outside of it, I feel like a lot of people think that it's really easy and it's really lax, and now knowing a little bit more, it seems like it's not like at all. It's kind of
no. I mean, like people in the music industry love to have fun and they love to party. Like I've definitely had beers offered to me at job interviews before, which like such a weird thing to say. But yeah, it's not as like some of the hardest working people are like roadies for sure. But yeah, it's such a fun thing to get to do, and to like bring music to people is so fun.
Yeah. What is your favorite part about music production and why?
My favorite part is honestly the second like the first band gets on stage when you're like organizing a show or throwing a show, like because you've done like so much work. Sometimes like when I do shows on my own at like a venue and throw them, like I've done months of work up until that point, like getting people in the door, everything. And then like when the first band gets on stage and you like basically just like kick them up there and you're like, you're up, go. That's when it like finally starts and you're like, okay, now I can relax, and like all the hard work was worth it. And then like getting to just peek around and like see people having fun, that's probably the best part.
And my second question is kind of the same. It's the same thing, but for stage crew. I'm assuming it would probably be the same in a way, right?
Yeah, I'm definitely more on the like event coordination side and like less of the technical stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's probably the same whenever I do some of the tech stuff. It's like I'm not the best at it, so when like the music starts and I'm like, yes, I did it all right. Like there's sound coming out of that guitar. I get very excited because I always am like, hey, will you help me? Am I like, are these wires all right? And like I perform myself too, which is crazy that I'm like get so worried about it. But whenever it's like my responsibility, it's a lot harder.
What is a common problem that occurs in the music industry, or was something you do?
That's tough. I'm trying to think of like what's a good common problem. I don't know. I mean, I feel like anytime I do an event or anything, like you're always gonna have issues no matter how much you like plan in advance. There's always gonna be something new coming up. So like kind of everything can be a common problem. Yeah, specifically in like live events, when you're like doing like local shows with like local bands, getting people through the door, common problem because like if it's not a big band, sometimes people don't want to be there, and that's tough. But yeah, there's always like problems with like venues and promoters and stuff. Getting paid sometimes is a problem, which is so funny to think that like working and like getting money after that is hard. But yeah, that's just kind of how it goes in the music industry. But yeah.
Was there anything that you did in high school that you think helped you get to where you are now? If so, what was it?
Yeah, absolutely. At Stevenson, we used to do this thing. I don't know if they still do it, actually. You could probably tell me. If they still have keck stock at all.
I think so.
They might not.
I'm drawing a blank. I'm drawing a blank right now.
Yeah, it was at like the end of the year at one of the assemblies that was like a big full-on concert thing. So my junior year, I got to like perform in it. And then my senior year, they weren't going to do it. And I was like, okay, no, we're doing it. I'm organizing it. And I just decided that I was organizing it and nobody stopped me. Like I just emailed the school and I was like, hey, this assembly is going to be keck stock. And like, they were like, okay, sure, whatever. And I was like, cool, now that they know it's happening, I have to do everything else because nobody else knows it's happening now. So that was like my first taste of organizing like an actual event. And this was when I knew I was going to Belmont for music business, and like maybe I was feeling a little cocky, but I just decided I was going to do it. And it worked out really, really well. It was a school assembly, so like people were going to be there anyways.
Yeah, they had to.
Don't say that. They just had. Well, I mean, yes, they had to be there.
Not that they didn't want to, but I'm just saying it was a school assembly. So.
It was a school assembly. People had to be there, but we had like an awesome lineup. It was so fun to like get to work with all my friends on it and like make a complete set list. It was so much fun. And then I did like a few acoustic like concerts sponsored by the radio station. And that was a lot of fun too. So just like organizing events in high school and having like a safe place to do it, where if I like failed, it was going to be okay. That was probably like the best.
Yeah. Actually, that's probably the one thing about like school events that's great about them is like if you mess up, oh well, it's kind of like you learn and you make it better next time. Yeah,
no, seriously, that was definitely the best part.
But you're not getting paid for it, so
no. Absolutely not. But it was so fun, and it was really like important for me to like prove to myself that I could do it, because I was like, oh, I just made this big decision to move across the country and go to school for music business, and all I've basically done is radio, and I just like music. Let me try throwing a show and prove to myself that like I could go into tour management or like event coordination. So yeah.
Is there anything that you would want to say, or tips or tricks for someone who may want to go in your field?
Yeah, I mean, try like throwing an event, try getting on any crew that you can to for any event. I like after graduating from Stevenson, I got to work the kickoff concert at the Salinas Rodeo, which was awesome. So that was like a big cool thing that I got to do. Yeah, just try working events if you can. I know it's a little hard to do in Monterey sometimes. Like, I guess like volunteer for the jazz festival, try to throw stuff at schools or whatever. Monterey has so many talented musicians, and I don't think enough like live events going on or like music stuff. So definitely just call up any coffee shop like Plumes or any like local coffee shop and be like, hey, can I throw an acoustic concert here? Like, and then get your friends together who like know how to do audio stuff or learn how to do it yourself and just start doing it. And then, I mean, if you're graduating high school, like find a college to go to that has music stuff in a city that has a good music industry. Like in the US, it's basically like LA, New York, and Nashville are like the top music cities. So like try to be near there to get a job in the music industry. But yeah, I mean, you just have to try doing stuff first. And I think live events is like the easiest, most tangible thing for you to like realize what the music industry is about. And it's a good way to like get started, but there's so many other like career options after that. And like in the music industry, there's a lot more than people realize.
Yeah. If anything, over the years, I've learned that the music industry is like insanely big. Like there's it feels like there's no end.
No, there's not. And like you can go into songwriting as well. Like if you're an artist writing songs for people, if you're not an artist but you really like hearing songs and like helping like bigger artists buy songs or like get songs on movie and TV, you can go into music publishing, which is awesome. That's like an awesome job to do. Artist management, if you just want to like kind of help babysit an artist or just like really be like a paid friend for an artist to help them like because I've managed my friends before and that's been awesome doing that, like helping them get opportunities to either like play shows. I was managing an artist named Enzy and we got one of her songs on an MTV show. And that was like, first off, like great money for her. And then it was just a huge opportunity and stuff like kept spiraling after that. So she's been invited to play like a bunch of festivals and like labels are looking at her now. So that's the type of stuff you can do. There's really so many options. Even if you don't know what you want to do, but you want to be involved in the music industry, you could basically just make up a job. Like, do you know the band Paramore?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I figured. So Haley Williams' mom actually teaches a class at Belmont. And what she does in the music industry is she's a life coach for like artists, managers, and people just touring. And her whole job is literally just mental health in the music industry. And she literally just came up with it because she was on tour with Paramore when Haley was like 15, 16. And she was like, the people that like Paramore is touring with, they're like not doing great. Their mental health just isn't totally here. So I'm going to go back to school, get a certification, and then be the person that can help these people. So like you really can do anything in the music industry. Yeah. And now she has like a company where she employs a bunch of people to help artists and tour managers and everybody.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's neat.
Yeah.
If you can you tell us something you're currently working on?
Working on finishing my degree.
Yes, big one. Yeah.
That one's super big. Yeah, honestly, like COVID kind of stopped any like plans I had. I still have goals of like, I really would love to go into live events in some capacity. Whether that be tour management or like working on music festivals. So honestly, I'm just trying to get back to that right now. What I'm currently working on. Yeah, that's kind of it. Like Nashville is starting to open up with like live events, and like people are getting vaccinated like crazy. So um, a few of my friends and I are working on like trying to throw like a little house show just to like get people back into coming to concerts and get my friends back into playing. Um, just been like writing a bunch of music with friends.
Mm-hmm.
So working on that. That's probably about it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I help manage one of my friends, and she's going to be playing Nashville Pride coming up. Her name's Kerrigan. You guys can go check out her music if you have a chance. She's going to be playing Nashville Pride coming up, so just kind of working on all the logistics for that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just been slow moving
Mm-hmm.
when everything was moving so fast, and it just came to like a halt right away. Mm-hmm. And so it's starting to pick up again.
Yeah,
which is good.
COVID with a lot of stuff, stopped everything kind of.
Oh man, and the music industry has been hit so hard. Like we're constantly having like food drives and like clothes drives and everything for like music industry folks who are like put out of work and everything. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like some of your favorite artists right now are in Nashville. If they're like indie, they're probably like waiting tables somewhere. Mm-hmm. Like I've seen a few, and it's like you just gotta do what you gotta do to get by right now. Mm-hmm. So it's tough, but I think everybody's super excited about like vaccines and stuff starting to open. Looking like fall, people are going to be touring again, which is so exciting. Mm-hmm. I got to go to Newfound Glory, did a little acoustic show that they were recording to be like an acoustic live stream event. I think it comes out like May 8th is when it's coming out. Mm. Don't quote me on that. You'd have to check Newfound Glory's Instagram and stuff. But it was super awesome. It was like the first time I got to go to a concert. It was weird though. It was acoustic. I've never seen Newfound Glory acoustic. Mm. I've always seen them in like, I've always crowd surfed whenever I've seen them. So that was weird.
Very different scene.
Very different. I was sitting in a chair and like you had to buy the tickets in fours. And so like, it was like my girlfriend and I, and then our two friends. And so we were just sitting there watching them play, and it was weird with like nobody close to us, but it's what they had to do and it's what worked. Mm-hmm. And so it was nice to go to a live event actually.
Thank you, Kira, for being in this interview. And I'm DJ Flash, and you've been listening to KSPB Pebble Beach 9.9 FM.